Barakah, Halal, Yahweh, Hashem, Yoshai, Hashem, Racha, Kodash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Shalom, double honor to Elder GMS Great Millstone. Shalom, shalom to elect the total tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings, we call ourselves a hopeful elect. Why? Because we do not know who the elect are in these times. Probably a quick hit. Psalm chapter 57, verse 1. Be merciful unto me, O God, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. You see in the parallel Hebrew right there, translated by beloved Elder Monaghan, head of GMSTC. Chananya Alahayim, Chananya, Baka Chasaya Napashya, Wabatazal Kanapika Achasa Aid Ibar Hawawa. Now if you go to my first channel, here it is, Dawada, you see the handlebar. Go on down the playlist, Hebrew playlist. Let's see if it comes up, but it's supposed to be in here. Yep, here it is. Right there. Yep, it says 7 out of 337. To the chief musician, Altaskith, Mixham of David, when he fled from Saul in the cave. To the chief musician, what do musicians do? Make music, sing. Be merciful unto me, O Allahayim, be merciful unto me. For my soul trusteth in thee. Our soul, our mind, our spirit, it trusteth in who? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's why, we ask for Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai to be merciful unto us. Because that's who we're trusting. That's all our hope and trust. And if Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai does not do it, then we will find no mercy. For all mercy comes from Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai controls everything, the good and the bad. Let's prove that point. Isaiah chapter 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So if Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai won't do it for you, remember, all power in heaven and earth is given unto me, as Yahweh Shai made the statement about. The Father passed the baton to the Son. If Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai don't do it for you, yeah, don't expect mercy. For my soul trusteth in thee, yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. And right now we're trusting in, spiritually underneath the precepts. When Yahweh Shai comes back, he's going to come back with the wings, the chariots. But right now we're trusting, underneath the precepts. Until these calamities be overpassed. So Yahweh Shai come back and deliver us into the chariots. And we be saved. Hopefully we be of that number. That's why I call ourselves a hopeful elect. Because hopefully when Yahweh Shai comes back, we will be saved. I will be saved. Hope is what? The belief that in a negative situation, at the end of it, there'll be as a positive outcome for you. Belief. Faith that at the end of the world, the great day of Yahweh, the great day of the Lord, which is near, with that hasteneth greatly, with cruelness, darkness, there will be a positive outcome for us. And that will be deliverance into the chariots to meet the Lord in the air. Yahweh Shai in the air. Let's go on to birds and feathers. A typical wing has 9 to 11 primary flight feathers, 6 to 25 secondary feathers, and 3 to 4 tertiary feathers near the body. Coverts overlap to form a streamlined surface. So each feather is what makes up the wing. So when you're liking precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, as it's written about, through thy precepts I get understanding, written about in the book of Psalm chapter 119. You can look at each feather as what? A precept. And what? The true understanding of it. And that is what the elect will be what? Hiding underneath. As you see now. Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Wisdom and knowledge. How do you get this? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So to obtain wisdom, you got to fear Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Father and Son equally, pursuant to the book of John chapter 5. Honor the Father as you honor the Son. Honor the Son as you honor the Father. The word there for honor in the Greek is timao, which means to what? To revere, have in honor, venerate. But God with great respect. Revere is what venerate means. To have a fixed value. You know, gold and silver, they're a different value. So how do you value that? The same value of worship, reverence, and fear you have towards the Father Yahweh is the same you have towards His only begotten Son. That's how you what? Start to gain wisdom, which is this truth, and knowledge. Through thy precepts I get understanding. It's going to keep who stable in the times of Jacob's trouble? The elect, so they won't be like a chicken without a head. And the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So the strength of our salvation is what? The fear of Yahweh, which is the beginning of wisdom. And that's how you get wisdom and knowledge to keep stable. Psalm chapter 110, verse 1, Psalm of David. Yahweh said unto my... wrong precept. Verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. You're going to have Israelites that wake up at what? Going on to the last hour, as it's written about. You know, brother gets spiritual power during Jacob's trouble, and through that spiritual power, more believers come in. But what are those believers going to have? The name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the name of the Father and the Son, which is necessary for salvation. And they're going to have faith, which is necessary for salvation. And ultimately, Yahweh Bahashem Shai is going to use that elect man of the Lord. Just use this as an example that was hidden underneath the precepts, the scriptures, and it all formed what? Likened unto one big wing. So we're trusting the precepts. Psalm chapter 138, verse 2, I will worship toward thy holy temple and praise thy name for thy loving kindness, the name, and for thy truth, for thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. So going into this goes into what? You're known by your works. You're known by your word. You say you will do this, you don't do it, you give yourself a bad name. You say you're going to do it, and you do it, you give yourself a good name. A person's name is tied to their essence, their being, and the character in the ancient Hebrew. And the character goes into what? The person's temperament. What kind of individual this person is, and how do they act? So if the Heavenly Father broke his word, his precepts, that would give himself a bad name. The Heavenly Father is not going to do that. 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I require them from among thy number. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to require his elect from among the people of earth. Ran into this precept while I was looking for it. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12. If a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked. As the ruler, so the people, as it's written about. The ruler is going to be reflected by the men underneath him. Sirach chapter 10, verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Even the people of the city is reflecting the ruler. Alright, back on topic. Hopefully this doesn't edifying to you. Quick, check the description box for the prayer. On that note, Shalom. Kal, Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Recha, Kodash, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahushai, Shalom. Double honors to Elder GMS Great Millstone. Shalom. Lasting note. Forgot about this point. Spirit brought it back. Underneath if you look at the Ark of the Covenant, you know, the Old Testament, the law, it all points back to Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Look at the wings, right? What was underneath the wings? The mercy seat. So if you're on the mercy seat, the wings are going to cover you, which can be likened unto the precepts, the scriptures. And by the way, these are only representations. The scriptures give what it would really look like. And when Yahweh Shai come back, he's going to come back with healing in his wings, as it's written about, which is symbolically the chariots. gonna come back with the wings, the chariots. On that note, shalom. Pray, read, study, fast, watch videos, meditate, repeat. Hold on to this truth. Let no man steal your crown. When Yahweh Shai comes back, he's literally going to crown his elect man. Pursuing 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 42 to 48. This truth is deadly serious. The Indiana Jones ox saying, you mess with the truth, you open the book. Well, you better be up the elect and come into this truth. Otherwise, this truth, to follow this truth, will consume you, which is Yahweh Shai. He will bring judgment upon you and consume you. Is not my word like a fire, saith Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29. Waiting for Yahweh Shai to come back with his wings, with his chariots. Shalom.